Welcome back, everybody. Sarcasm Speaks, Jared and Bob here. Another double header for us, and trying to get some in the bank here because we got your wedding actually coming up. By the time this comes out, you'll be married. So
It's the plan, right?
yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, sure is.
So it'll be probably a while, at least for us, right? When we get back to the normal schedule and then actually probably talking about the wedding, right? And whatever hijinks might ensue. Are you guys doing the bonfire, by the way? Did you decide?
Well, the bonfire is planned as long as it doesn't
Okay,
rain.
cool. All right, cool. That I remember that was we were
It was only
joking, being like, "Oh, can Vinny go? Like, can we
yeah,
keep
it's only
Vinny
it's
away?"
only contingent on rain, but I think the weather's okay. I don't fucking
Yeah. So uh outside of that, I've got something that keeps coming up. So I think I'm all set with uh like dumb business tagline cliche things. So if you remember, this was probably almost a year ago where there was that whole thing where people are talking about quiet quitting, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah, I remember it. I don't actually remember what the fucking thing was, but
So quiet quitting is or was like people didn't want to be at their jobs anymore, but they didn't want to quit. So they were just kind of like coasting, doing the bare minimum, which,
I mean, there was a movie in 1998 that came out about that exact
yeah, I was
topic.
going to say it's not a new thing. They just decided to tag it something in like 2022 or 2023, whenever it was. And people were like, oh, quiet quitting, right? And it's like, how do you combat quiet quitting? Like this, because I am relatively active on LinkedIn just because I kind of have to be for my job, just to like see what's out there and connect with people and, do the whole thing that LinkedIn was uh, originally intended for, which is networking. Um, so I see like these articles pop up all the time, whether it's from like Forbes or Business Insider or Market Watch or whatever those people are that they get their shit posted on LinkedIn. Um, so quiet quitting was one a while ago, right? Again, like you just said, they made a whole movie out of it called Office Space. It's not a new phenomenon. It's people that hate their job and do the bare minimum to get by.
Also, isn't that any corporate job?
Effectively, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but everything has to have a name. Everything's got to be a thing, right? So this other thing I saw recently, which is actually really funny because I deal with it in my line of work, but it's called coffee badging. So a quick synopsis on that is a lot of companies, um, especially major companies like financial institutions, right? Like whatever, for whatever reason, labs. A lot of the clients that I work with, um, even some retail clients, right? So I would say most places that are big enough require some sort of like badge access to like enter the building or enter different spaces within the building, right? So what they can do, right? What the HR departments in these companies do is they can pull your badge data. So they'll pull that information and run a report, and they can find out how often you have badged into the building, right? And they kind of see like where you're going. So if, if they find some data that, you badged in at 8 a.m. and then you didn't use your badge at all for the rest of the day, which is why a lot of places, this is just a tangent, but this is why a lot of places now are starting to make people badge out of the building, right? So it's like a classic, like you walk into the building, you tap your badge on the turnstile, like the gates open, right? You walk through, you go through your thing. Like 90% of places, 80, 90% of places, you just leave the building, right? But a lot of companies now are starting to make you badge out so that there's badge data of when you actually badged out. So I think part of this is to combat this phenomenon, right? Whatever you want to call it, of coffee badging, which is someone drives to their office in the morning, taps their badge to get into the building, goes and gets a coffee, and then leaves the building and goes back home and works from home for the rest of the day. So their badge registered as letting them into the building, but they're not physically working their day in the building. So why this is kind of important, again, this kind of gets into like a little bit of the weeds, but this is where like this is like my job basically, is I work alongside of a lot of like space planning departments and real estate people and stuff like that. So when businesses allocate, we call them neighborhoods, right, on a floor, right? So say you're in a building, could have 4 floors, 10 floors, 1 floor, it doesn't matter, right? Every section of the floor is kind of like its own department, right? So like these 45 seats are like security, those 20 seats are accounting, there's 15 seats in the back for, the sales guys, and then there's like 5 seats and an office for HR, right? So like the way they divvy out how many seats and how much space each group gets. One is by like how big the group is, right? So if there's like 150 people in finance, but there's only 6 people in HR, then obviously finance is going to get more space. But also they figure out by badge data, right? Like who's required to be in the office. Because, you might have 150 people in your department, but only 50 of them are required to be in the office at least 3 days a week. Right. So like there's, again, not to like get into the nitty gritty, but like there's reasons why they collect the badge data, right? To figure out who's available to sit where, how much space every group needs. So like it's kind of important, right? From an occupational space design standpoint, right? But now these people are just tapping their badge to get in, like I said, grabbing a coffee, then going home, right? So if you look them up in the system, oh, Steve was in the office 4 days last week. That's weird. I didn't even see him once. And he sits at the desk right across from my office. So like it's becoming a little bit of a problem there. So that's one of those, again, it's a stupid term, but everything has to have a name. And it's one that like I actually kind of encounter quite a bit, which I think is really funny too. Because they're like a lot of places are like requiring people to start to come back to the office more frequently. So they're like, oh, and a lot of it is by job function. So like your job function requires you to be in the office 3 days a week. And like Steve might show up to the office 3 days a week, tap his badge, go get a coffee from Starbucks, and then get back in his car and drive home. And in the system, he's complying with the requirement. But in real life, he's never fucking in the office.
Are you moving on to a new point? Because I have many questions about this.
Yeah, you can ask away. I have one other one, but I can get to that after.
Okay, with this one specifically.
Yeah.
A couple things. So my first question isn't a question at all, actually. The only reason that this can happen is because it's rules for thee, but not for me.
Right.
Because if this was 1988 and you were a stockbroker, badges, no badges, electronics, forget it. It's not relevant.
Right.
Your boss or your manager or whoever's above you would also be in the office. And then when you are not in your office, he can go, that's odd.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, when you're still not in your office, he can go, where the fuck is he today?
Right.
Phone call? No answer? Okay, I guess you're not getting paid for today because you're not here and you didn't answer your phone.
Right.
So, my observation from afar only by listening to what you just described as a definition, is people are getting pissed that the workers, like the actual labor force, is pulling this fucking bullshit. But they're not like they're mad about it. Like, oh well, people are badging in, but they're just leaving. Well, whose fucking fault is that? It's yours. Because if there's no one to hold these people accountable, why the fuck would they show up?
Right.
It's the same thing with college classes that don't take attendance. The attendance sucks. If you say there's a grade for attendance, your attendance will be better than the other class. It's very simple. If there's
Right.
no accountability, then that's the only reason this is happening. So I have to assume that the managers, the C-suite, whoever the fuck is in charge, depending on the structure of the business, is not subject to being in the office, or else this would be figured out very fast. Two, this has to be by far and away the laziest display of fucking time and attendance I've ever seen in my entire life. Again, from a guy that hasn't actually witnessed any of it.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that your system is badge in? No one knows where you go after that.
Right.
That is the same
Unless,
shit.
like, if you're in a financial
Yeah,
institution,
you
a lot
badge
of
for
different,
everything.
there's different suites and different floor,
Yeah.
like you might have to badge to get onto a specific floor.
But there
So
are
like
some
there is some
companies,
data afterwards.
there are some companies where they go, oh, they badged in. Must have been here today.
Yeah.
But the reality is people are badging in and going home. Wouldn't you just check where they fucking log in from? Like, wouldn't you just check the IP address at which they're doing the work from? Because if
That's a
they
lot
are,
of work. Then you got to involve the IT
yeah,
department. You ever worked
yeah,
with an IT department?
no.
They're fucking it's worse than dealing with Comcast.
Well, that's because, like the fucking thing I sent you guys, the dude had to drive 2 hours after being
Yeah.
assured that the computer was turned on just so that he could turn the computer on.
Right,
That's why
right.
they're fucking weird as hell and fucking pissed off all the time. But here's my thing. You're sitting here, you have a problem, and effectively the students are showing up for class, signing their name and leaving, which that
Yeah,
also used to happen in college.
right,
And it's like, why aren't the students staying? Because you're not fucking making them.
right.
There's no fucking way that someone should have the ability, if they are supposed to be in the office and they badge in, leave, and work from home and actually work, not just fuck off for the day.
Right.
There is no fucking way that that shouldn't get caught in 30 days. And then that's like it should be an immediate termination or an immediate suspension if it's like first, whatever.
Right. Right.
But now you have these companies going, we don't know what to do about this. It's fucking simple. Stop being so motherfucking lazy. That's
Yeah.
all it is. That pisses me off so much because Bank of America, I'm just making that up.
Yeah.
I don't have clients. I don't know who your clients are, but Bank of America, actually, they're not even headquartered here. They're headquartered in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Bank of America. And they're like, they could be sitting there like one of the biggest financial fucking institutions. They fucking borderline have almost unlimited resources because banks effectively have
Yeah.
free everything.
Yeah. Too
Sitting
big
there
to fail.
going, well, I won't say that, but like they're sitting there going, what are we going to do about all these people that are badging in and not going to work? I don't know. Anything. Do anything. Just anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except sitting there being like, well, let's just pull the badge data. Well, I'm sure that takes 4 fucking seconds of effort, which is exactly why 30 seconds of effort outsmarts you. Like, children could figure this out.
Yeah.
Children.
They have.
So
Like
what do you
college
think
students have figured it out.
educated, experienced fucking individuals are going to do?
Yeah.
They're just going to exploit the fuck out of that. And you
Yeah.
can't care that much if you're not willing to actually do anything about it, except, oh, well, we pulled the badge reports. Like, Imagine our boss from fucking CISO, and he's like, in hit like going. It's like, oh, where's John today? Oh well, he came in and grabbed the Nextel. I don't know. Okay, did you fucking call him? Did you check on any of his work? Did you go to any of his things?
Right.
Like,
Right.
did you talk to him? Oh no. Get on it. Like that's how that
Yeah.
conversation would have went.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you're the CEO of a company and you have a department and like again, so it's like I know that it has to trickle down like a fucking family tree of an Irish Catholic fucking family. Like,
Yeah, you get
and I
the associate vice president who reports up to a vice president who reports up to an executive vice president who reports to the senior vice president who then reports to, you know, the chief marketing officer who then reports to the CEO. Right? You
right,
have
there was a
like
movie. Hey,
9 levels of middle management.
that same movie in 1998 discussed this. I have eight
Yeah.
bosses, Bob. Eight. Someone needs to be fucking responsible for these fucking people. And it's as easy as walking around the fucking office. If the office has 40 fucking seats and there's supposed to be 40 fucking people there on Monday, or there's supposed to be 20 fucking people there on Monday, well, get fucking Tweedle fucking D to fucking count some fucking names. Figure it the fuck out. But you know what? Because this is trickling down with 8 fucking bosses
Yeah.
at fucking Inatrobe or Inatech or whatever the fuck one they were. The fucking guy that's supposed to be holding these people accountable, he's doing the same shit.
Yeah.
And the guy
Yeah.
above him is probably working from his fucking yacht.
Yeah.
Now,
Most
maybe I skipped a
likely.
few steps. Maybe he's working from his fucking Boston whaler, and his boss is working from his fucking yacht. And then the other one's working from a fucking cruise ship that he rented out for $1 million for a fucking week. Like, figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
These people are retarded. Like, these here we are back to people that are supposed to be so fucking smart running these big fucking companies and they can't figure out the fucking badge. Oh, well, we checked the badge data. We don't know what to do about this. Well,
Yeah.
we got to
Yeah. Oh,
stop this. Oh, you know what we should do? You know what we should do? We should have people badge out. You don't even need to fucking do that. You don't even need to do that.
but I
Never
mean, that is
mind.
why a couple places have done that because now they can now it deters people from doing that. Like if you badge in at 7:55 and you badge out at 8:23, it's like, dude, you were here for like fucking like
Yeah.
27 minutes.
But all you're gonna do with that is deter people from wanting to work for you. Because it's 2024, it's not fucking 1998.
Right.
Like
Right.
if it's like, oh, well, I got to badge in and out. Yep. It's like, what's my ability to work remotely? Oh, well, we need that. Fuck it. I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like the types of people that pull this shit are the types of people that don't care about your job enough.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
don't have
Because
to
if they
like that.
cared
Oh, I'm
more, they
not
would
looking for
be
that
there.
type of person. Good. Because you're not going to get them. Like,
Yeah.
good fucking luck. And then guess what? By the time you actually get some of these people, oh, you want me in 3 days. You want me to badge in and out. You like every
Right.
time I leave this fucking building, I got to badge in, out, lunch, coffee. Hey, I had to run to an appointment. I'm back. I'm in. I'm out. I'm in. I'm out. Like
Right.
fucking, you're paying me. Oh,
Yeah.
well, no, we only pay, the market. See ya.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because the market says I can work from fucking home and not deal with your bullshit.
Right. Right. I mean, that
Hey,
was to
pretty good rant for an industry I know
yeah.
nothing about, huh?
Yeah. I mean, to the point you just brought up too, like to bring it back to CISO, um, what we used to talk about all the time is because we had by the time we were there, and it was might have been a bit smaller when you were there, but by the time we were there, we had like 40 employees that worked, like
No, we
40
did not
student
have that.
employees. So one of the things that we used to talk about all the time, and this is like something that now it makes sense, right? Like as a quasi adult, not really, but as an older person who's been in the job force for a while and now works in the corporate world, what what Bobby used to say to us was, you're never going to have a team full of all stars, right? So he was like, we have 40 people that work in this department. He was like, at best, you're going to have 10 people that are your rock stars. Like those are your A employees. And he goes, you're going to have 10 people that really kind of suck, but like you need help. So like they're here, but if you had to fire them, you don't really give a shit, right? So like those are your like D and F employees. So he's like, of your 40 employees, you've got 10 A's, you've got 10 D's and F's, and you've got 20 B's and C's. And he's like, you can rely on them to show up and like get some work done, but like they're not going to go above and beyond. They're not going to crush it. They're not going to do whatever. And like for some reason, like that stuck out to me. Obviously, I remember it over 10 years later, right? This conversation I had with him. And like now that makes so much sense. Now you put that to scale, right? So like you take your example of Bank of America. How many employees do they have? 5,000? Like, I don't know, 3,000? Like, let's like, if they have
What is it?
3,000 employees, that's like your top tier, right? So you're 10 when it was 40, or let's use 4,000 because it's easier to convert, right? Now you have 1,000 A employees, right? At best, you're going to have 1,000 people that work in your company of 4,000 that are A employees that are going to go above and beyond. They're going to crush it. They love working for you. They'll do anything for you. And you're going to have 1,000 employees that fucking suck at their job and don't want to be there. Those are your D's and F's, right? So like you just apply that to scale and you're going to get this, right? Like you're going to get any scenario. So like the larger the company, the more chances you are to have people that just kind of suck.
So here's the other thing too, right? I know someone works for a big company, whatever. Every 15 minutes of his timesheet needs to be documented.
Yikes.
Every 15 minutes. Now, could you say that that's overkill? I would
Yeah.
argue, yeah,
Yeah.
I would, because the other thing too is like he is supposed to perform so many billable hours, which fucking hate that term because
Yeah.
people just throw
That's
it around like it means something. But
that's another one.
he
Billable
actually
hours.
yeah, but this is the thing. He actually has billable hours.
Right. Right.
Like people talk about billable hours, but there is no billable hours. Like you're not everyone's not a fucking lawyer. He's not a lawyer either, but like
Right.
lawyers, it's very straightforward. Personal trainers, it's actually they have billable hours. We
Right.
have also unbillable hours, but that's just the fucking job.
Yeah.
But yeah, so not only does he need to meet like billable hours per uh month, I think it's monthly. Um every 15 minutes needs to be documented on the timesheet. So right there, right then and there, is it overkill? Maybe. But guess what you won't have happening? People fucking off not doing shit.
Right.
Because you can only say, worked on the green account so many times without working on the green account
Right.
before someone looks at the green account and goes, there's nothing done here.
Right. What did you
You,
actually do?
how did you do 7 hours of work on this account
Right.
with no work done?
Right.
So I'm guessing that company doesn't worry about shit like this.
Yeah.
And maybe it's as simple. Like, this is the other thing. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't, again, I'm talking absolutely out of my ass. I'm trying to use logic, which actually probably makes me a little bit more informed than I should be because I'm just using logic, not any type of bias towards, oh, that's not really
Yeah.
how things work around
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's
also
I
one of
know
those
that's our
things.
policy, but I mean, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
just kind of
What's 7 to 3?
assumed.
Is 7 to 3 8 hours? I don't even know. Yes, it is. So
Yeah.
7 to 3 is 8 hours. And maybe some companies, I don't know, probably not this one, but some companies might allow you to clock in at 6:30 and you just straight up say that from 9 to 9:30 I went and fucked off. Or like, hey, I'm out. Like didn't work.
Yeah.
But you did the half hour on the front end and you still meet all your performance metrics.
Yeah.
I'm sure some companies allow for that too. But right then and there, same company probably has badge data, probably has, might be in and out. I don't really know. but they also have a record of what you did. You report what you did so
Right.
that if we look at it and say, you're not doing what we want, but you told us you were, you have 2 hours to get all your shit out of here.
Yeah, someone from
That,
security will meet you at your desk with a box.
exactly. Yeah. Do you need a box or do you need us to get you one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, someone probably listen. I go every 15 minutes. Oh my God. Guess what? You're on the clock. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do mine by half hour, but it's not like a precise by the half hour. It's like I was in a half hour meeting for this client, so I'm going to bill a half hour to that client. Right. Like if I'm in an hour long meeting, I'm going to bill an hour towards that client. Right. So it's like, that's kind of how I do it. I have some people on my team, like when I get their timesheets, they like do it to the 15-minute. Like I'll get like a 0.25 build to like client X, right? Or I'll get a 1.75 build to that. I'm like, whatever, I'll approve it. But like, that's ridiculous. Like you don't need to do that. Like just round it up to 2 hours, or round it up to a half hour. Like that's what I do,
These
right?
companies are massive, right? Just fucking charge them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the companies we work for can clearly afford us. Like you can
It was
charge
almost
them
like
for the extra 15 minutes.
the Stop and Shop clock out. Like when you clocked out, if you
The
needed the
seven
red
minutes.
if you needed the red card because you were late, yeah, it was a 7 minute window.
So we had when I worked in the warehouse when I was in high school, basically, we had a 7-minute window to punch in. So you knew if you needed to start by 8:30, you had to punch the clock by 8:37 because at 8:38 it would deduct a
Uh,
full half hour from your pay.
I think it was 15 minutes
Yeah, it
for
would
Stop and Shop.
automatically start you at 9 a.m. So it was like,
Yeah,
fuck, dude, I gotta get there.
yeah. That was the thing is like if you work an extra 8 minutes, you get paid for 15. But you needed the special card to override your clock out. And then
Yeah,
if you use that card too many times, then someone's got to fucking sit there and be like, "Why are you using this card so much? What's going on here?"
yeah.
Like you're
And
supposed to
then
leave.
on the flip side, when I was at the warehouse, you would get spoken to. Not like you would just not get paid as much, like if you were late, right? But you would get spoken to if you consistently clocked in early, right? So if you
Oh
were
yeah,
supposed to
it didn't
start at
let you.
8:30 and you clocked in at,
Eight
you
fifteen.
know, 8:15 or whatever, and it would say you started at 8 a.m. Like if it happened here and there, like it was fine, whatever. But like for me, I was a part-time employee, so they didn't really give a shit. But like the full-time guys, they would be like, hey, you can't do that. So because of that, anyone that got there early, it was literally like a cartoon. Like there was a line of fucking guys standing at the machine ready to punch in right at 8:30. Or like
Well,
they would start at like, whatever, 8:25, right?
yeah,
Because it was whatever like within the window.
yeah, because you had the same window on the front end and back end.
Right. Right.
Um, yeah, the Stop and Shop clock it wouldn't let you punch in early. It wouldn't let you punch out late. And if you punched in 17 times in the 7 minutes before, you were still like you could not like in out in out in out like
Right.
you only had the window to punch in, you only had the window to punch out.
Yeah. So I got one more. One last one. So we got quiet quitting, we got coffee badging. Now the new thing that I just saw the other day on
I already
LinkedIn
ranted too.
is quiet vacationing, which you're gonna love this one. Uh,
Probably
quiet
am.
quiet vacationing is the new phenomenon where people are taking vacations but not putting in the PTO for them because they don't want to appear lazy. So what
Is
they're doing is they're traveling somewhere, right? It's people that have the ability to work remote. So they're
right.
like taking a vacation and they're working while they're on vacation. Or what they're doing too now is they're scheduling emails to be sent during the day. So like, the people might finish work at like 2 o'clock, but they schedule like 6 emails to get sent between like 2:15 and 4:30, right? So it looks like you're sending emails out for, a 2 hour period, but you're really not even there.
Kid I was talking on the golf course. He'll do shit like that. I
Yeah,
don't know
I've
what
done
I
it
don't know what
before.
I don't know what his job is.
I did it at my last job. I did it at Compass all the time. I
Well,
would
I do it.
schedule
So
emails
I
to
do
go
it.
out.
I do it now. Like I schedule emails so that people don't get the impression that like I'm checking my email on a Saturday at 3:30.
Right,
Like Monday at 6 a.m. Here you go.
right.
Um, Again, it also doesn't matter what I do, but he was saying that he'll get burned sometimes because it's like you can log into Teams and then it's like, okay, like here's your here it is. Here's your record of when you logged in and when you logged out. Like it's
Yeah.
there. But then he'll log in sometimes, so his boss will see that he's active, and then the boss like sends a fucking call in, and he goes, "Oh fuck!" It's like kind of on the golf course right now. This isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get boned on that too. So I guess my question is, are people taking more vacations and not using PTO?
Yeah,
Or
they're
are
not using PTO at all
why? It's why it's there.
because they don't want to appear lazy, apparently.
Is your company a use it or lose it for
No,
PTO?
no.
Do
We're
they
a
cap how
we're a
much you can
we're
roll?
a max. Yeah, we get capped depending
But
on
you
your
can roll
tenure.
it.
Yeah, it never expires.
But at some point, do you get like say
At
your
some point
max is 10 weeks?
you just stop accruing.
So if you like say the cap is 8 weeks, and
Yeah.
if you get to 8 weeks in 2 years but don't use any, you just continue to have your 8 weeks until you use it.
Yeah. Yeah, you just stop accruing time.
Um, I don't get it. It's
Yeah,
fucking
me neither. It's
it's
dumb.
fucking there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I found this
Like
this
why
this
wouldn't
is the
like
article that I read the other day. So um it's a phenomenon where millennials take time off without informing their employers, often using creative methods to maintain the illusion of being productive while actually enjoying a break. According to a Harris poll, 38% of millennials admitted to taking time off without requesting it or telling their employer. The trend is driven by a fear of appearing unproductive, as well as a desire to maintain a work life balance. Millennials are more likely to prioritize their personal lives and well being over the demands of their jobs, and quiet vacationing is a way for them to achieve this balance without sacrificing their careers. How do
so
they quiet vacation? And
oh
this is
okay
like
yeah keep
sending automated response
oh
emails, using VPNs to make it look like they're working remotely, scheduling messages to be sent outside of normal office hours to give the impression they're working overtime, or taking mental health days or personal days without revealing the true reason of their absence.
again. So reading between the lines, and I didn't read the article, and I'm not going to. And again, it's not fact based. Here we go. I actually think people like when you said work life balance and mental health days, I have a feeling that people are trying to take more time than they are allotted. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like, well, I get 2 weeks, 2 full weeks PTO. I'm gonna use those, and I'm gonna go completely offline. But then it's also like, well, I kind of want to go to the Cape this weekend. Why don't I stay on and I'll fudge the system a little bit.
Yeah.
Or oh, like it's gonna be 93 tomorrow. Like my friend has has a boat in Duxbury. Like yeah, I think it'll be a remote day, and I'll
Yeah.
fire off a couple emails. That's what it sounds like to me, because um those types of people don't strike me as the types of people that would look at a PTO package and say it's 2 weeks a year and go, I'm not going to use that. I'm a good employee. Fuck that. They don't give a fuck. I think this is when they're trying to go above and beyond. Like
Yeah. Yeah, it
trying
could
not
be.
to
It's
try
certainly some of it.
like they're going to try to play golf today instead of putting in for PTO, or they're going to try to go you know, oh, we're going to the Cape this weekend, but if I leave halfway through Thursday, I can fire off a couple late emails, and by the time anyone reads them and sends them back, the day's over.
Yeah.
And then I'm already down there for Friday, like, work a couple hours in the morning, but then I'm there. Like,
Right.
that's the type of shit it sounds like to me. Like,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
putting
I'm sure
in
there's some of that too, but I think
it
some
has
of it
it has to be,
is
right?
also people are just not taking it because it says they don't want to appear unproductive.
Has the fucking definition of PTO changed? Isn't it paid time off? You're not
You would
supposed to be
think, yeah.
productive.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be fucking off.
Yeah. I mean,
These people are idiots, dude.
I work for a good company that doesn't really like pressure you to not take time off, right? Like there's really no issues. Like even
Be a nice
most of my
lawsuit if they did.
clients aren't like shaming people for taking time off. Like the big thing that I see with the generation above us is they take vacations and they're still working during their vacations. Like I get emails from people at like some of the pharmaceutical clients that I work with. And I'm like, oh, this person is on vacation this week. And then I'll get an email on like Tuesday at like 11 a.m. from this person. I'll be like, aren't you on vacation? Like, what are you doing? Like, don't do that. Stop working. Like, but
I could never do it.
that's what I see a lot from people that are like, I would say like 55 plus, probably. Like they do that a lot.
You know
They
what though?
take
Because like I
vacations
think,
and then they still work. It's like, what's the point of you taking fucking time off?
yeah, like this is the thing though. It's like I try to think like now it's hard because my my father's shit just accumulated. Like,
Yeah.
so he never took time off, but like my mother got like a year's worth of PTO when he died,
Right.
or like unused sick time, whatever it was. Like
Right.
he accumulated a year. Figure that one out for me.
Yeah, I know.
But that was the thing was like so when my mother was working for the city, you could only roll two. So you earned whatever, but you could only roll over two. So like the
Right.
longest tenured people might earn six a year,
Yeah.
but you can only roll two. So it's like she would still use, I don't think she was four because she didn't work there long enough, but like if she earned four and could roll two, like she would still use her two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she like didn't go to the office. And I'm like trying to think like blue collar guys, when they're fucking on vacation, you ain't calling them.
Yeah.
Those warehouse
Not a
guys,
chance.
the warehouse
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah. Oh,
when
yeah.
they were on vacation, were you reaching out to them?
Nope.
Not unless you had the fucking a Bud Diesel at the one end
Yeah.
and a string attached to the other one, and that's how you were getting in touch with them. There's no way
Yeah.
that that was going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. Not a chance.
So I don't know. Maybe it's like the new corporate world, which I know nothing about.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly don't
Well,
do
because
that.
we know we
I'm on vacation starting tomorrow for a week and a half, and I
I'll
am
say
not
because
going to fucking look at my computer.
we
I
have a
talked to
friend
my
that
boss yesterday and I was like, hey, do you need me to approve anyone's time? Because we submit weekly timesheets. And then while I'm out, it's the end of the month. I was like, do you need me to approve my team's time while I'm away? Because like if so, like I'm gonna have to make sure that like I bring my laptop to do that. And he was like, no, you're good. I'll do it for you. I was like, all right, sweet, thanks.
yeah. But that's how some people end up working the fucking 4th of July, which if our man is listening to this, which he does occasionally, like and I made fun of him that day too. It's like the 4th of July, really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine some companies are pretty aggressive when it comes to like taking PT. It all depends on like the manager, right? Like if you have like a 67-year-old manager that's like just an old school dickhead, right? Like he's just like, oh, you're gonna take time off. Like, why are you taking time off? Right? Like after enough time, you're gonna be like, ah, shit. Maybe I shouldn't try and request this time off. Like maybe I'll just, like you said, maybe I'll just head to the boat on Friday at like 2 o'clock, and then I'll schedule some emails to go out Friday afternoon. I'll be all set. Like that's what happens.
Here's the other thing too. Again, it's like this is so bad. I could never work corporate. Like I can't do it. If I did have 67-year-old dickhead fucking be like, oh, taking PTO again, I'd go right to HR. I'd be like, just so you know,
Yeah,
fucking dickhead number one is giving
right.
me shit for taking PTO. Put that
Yeah,
on record. I'm fucking taking it.
yeah,
Okay, yes, sir.
yeah, yeah.
Let me
The
punch that in.
the time that I earned that you
Yep.
gave me.
Which legally you have to.
Right, right,
And if I fucking quit, you still owe it to me too. There's that.
right, right, right. Yeah.
I'd be such
So
a bad corporate employee. Luckily, I have no corporate skills, I guess.
yeah, you'd
Unfortunately,
figure it out though.
I probably have more than I think.
I was gonna say you'd be surprised. Some of the people that I fucking interact
Could
with.
never do it. Couldn't do it. I'd almost
Yeah,
like prefer to fucking cut grass at the golf course.
yeah. It's a lot of exactly what you would imagine. Just dumb, stupid fucking. Oh yeah, no, that's a fantastic idea. We should really make note of that, and we'll circle back and we'll come back,
Yeah.
with the next meeting. Or my
Well, the other
favorite
and
is like, oh, that was a great meeting. I've been in meetings when I leave and people are like, oh, what a great meeting. Like, are you shitting me? Like, beat the did we just beat the Celtics? Like, did we just play a game? Like, oh, great meeting, everybody. Like, what are we doing? What do you mean great meeting?
yeah,
Like,
same
we
people who
sat in the
clap on
conference
planes.
room for 45 minutes and talked about nothing.
Yeah. Same people who clap on planes without
Yeah,
any
yeah,
real
yeah.
anything during the flight.
One of my favorite things that's happened a lot because I've been in a lot of meetings that are like really big. So there's a lot of people involved. And it's a pretty large client that we're moving to. So like in all of these meetings are going through and they're like talking to people, whatever. And anytime someone brings up something that like a department doesn't want to talk about, right? So say like I work for space planning, right? And I bring something up and I go, oh yeah, Cynthia from facilities, like we need facilities to do this, and this, and we need to make sure that this is ready for when we get in. Cynthia comes on and goes, yeah, let's take that offline and let's chat separately. And
See,
it's
this is
like
why I can't work
that's
corporate
the
because I would turn
ultimate
around and be like,
line.
so do you want me to send you a messenger pigeon or a smoke
Yeah.
signal?
So that's the ultimate, like, I don't want to fucking talk about this right now. Send me an email. Let's take this,
Hey,
let's take this
I was just say,
offline.
funny thing about that, that's still online.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right?
Send me a fucking postcard.
Yeah. Yeah, let's take this offline and then we'll circle back. Like, shut the fuck up.
It's so funny too because it's like you couldn't just say like, hey, I really don't want to get into that right now. Can you shoot me an email? Wouldn't that be
Yeah,
fucking way easier?
I've done that before. Like when there's like a big call and someone's trying to like ask me specific questions about something, I'll be like, listen, I'm more than happy to answer your questions, but I don't think the other 17 people on this call really care about what I have to say right now. So like if you want to fire that off to me in an email, like I'll get it to you as soon as I can. And that then end of discussion, right? Like that's literally what I say to these people. Like I don't
It's actually
care.
way easier that way too.
Yeah, yeah.
Shoot me an email.
Yeah, just shoot me an email real quick. Like I know
Quick.
you're gonna have more questions. It's not a big deal. I'll answer what you just got me now, but I know you're gonna have more. So
Well,
you
plus
just
if
send that in an email.
we'll
I'll
say,
get it to you as soon as I
plus
can.
if I type it out to you, maybe you have a chance of fucking comprehending, and I don't
Yeah.
have to fucking repeat myself when you inevitably forget.
Yeah, exactly. I can do another one of those corporate things where it's like per my last email, or you re-forward. That's
I
one of my
love
favorite
that.
things
That's
to
my
know
favorite.
when you forward an email that you already sent, and I just type FYI at the top. Be like, hey, I sent this email like 3 weeks ago, so here you go.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, no, it's
Because like that's what
fantastic.
like a lot of what I do is when I reach back out to people, I just continue the same email chain.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you said you wanted to come in, here we are. Like what are we doing here?
yep,
Some
yep.
call it annoying, I call it relentless follow-up, whatever.
So there you have it for corporate corporate bullshit, right? You've got quiet quitting. coffee badging, and now quiet vacationing. So
And all
I'm
you are
sure
is
in
just a bunch
three
of lazy
weeks
fucks.
I'll see another article on LinkedIn and have something else to add to it. But yeah, I mean, it's basically just you're lazy or you don't want to
Everyone.
work.
Well, it's like the whole. It's just fucking insufferable. It really fucking is. All of it. Everything we discuss is just fucking stupid,
Yeah.
and it happens everywhere. Like I said, in 1998, there was a movie about that.
It's a great movie, actually.
16 years ago, they covered it.
Yeah,
That's not 16 years. That's 26 years.
that's 26 years. Yeah, so in 30 years, corporate life
Not
has
hasn't
not
changed
has
one
not
bit.
changed. Nope,
Hasn't changed
not one
one
bit.
bit.
It's good. It's good to know. Except the only difference now is people might be more lazy because they can work from home.
Yeah, so I will to give people credit. They are more creative now.
Yeah. Yep.
You can be more creative. I will give you that. That's no
Right.
debate.
Right.
But yes, now people are more lazy and more selfish and more less apt to actually like work.
Yeah. You want to wrap this up?
Yeah,
I think it's about
probably.
that time. So we can get game two going.
You know, you think I would keep actually I say that like I would keep this thing open, but it doesn't stay open on my phone. Okay. Have you seen the UK heat wave?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
So
fantastic.
the UK heat wave, for those have had that don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and by the time this comes out, the heat wave will be here and gone. So in the UK, they are going to be experiencing temperatures when converted to freedom units. It's going to be 79 degrees. 79.
Yep.
Now, some of the arguments for why this is such a big deal is well, there's no AC. We don't have a AC anywhere. Someone goes, "Why don't you get AC?" They go, "Well, we never need it except for like, once in a blue moon." So, how about a fucking fan? $10 on a fan.
Yeah.
It's 79. It's not even that fucking hot.
Yeah.
And then someone did say they were like, "That's like a pretty mild temperature. Why don't you just open a window?" Okay. And they go, "Well, it's not like in America where where your houses are detached." Okay. So most of our houses are detached. How does that make 79 degrees any warmer?
Yeah.
Okay. The other argument.
Heat rises, like heat goes up. It doesn't go left and right.
And it doesn't go to a wall and go, "Ooh, there's someone on the other side of this wall. I'm staying right here."
Yeah.
Okay. Then, well, our homes are made of brick, not wood. Right? It's like, well, the bricks heat up and then the heat never leaves. It never leaves ever. And that's because when it gets really cold here, that's how things need to stay warm. That's how we stay warm. It's bricks. The bricks do everything. Okay, again, crack that window, maybe get a fan, definitely no AC. Someone did say they go, "I'm going to leave my job and go start selling air conditioning in fucking UK. This is insane." So, the UK, oh, well, it gets so cold here that we need these brick houses. Have you ever looked at average temperatures in London?
No, I haven't
Okay,
actually.
well, I did. Well, so you're a guy. Now, what do we know about London? Rains all the fucking time. The weather sucks.
It's an
It's
island.
always
Well, not
dark
London,
and
but like
gray.
England
Yeah,
is an
England's an
island.
island. If you had to guess, now, December, January, February, generally the coldest months of the year, generally anywhere you are. What do
Right.
you think
In the northern hemisphere.
the average low is in December, January, and February? Because it's the same temperature.
Are we talking centigrade
Freedom
or
units,
freedom
freedom units.
units? Um 27.
40 degrees.
Jesus.
40 is the average low. 40. You're coming at me with you need brick fucking houses because it gets so cold here? 40
Yeah.
on average?
What's the average low here in the winter?
Colder than
Do we know?
fucking 40. Way colder than fucking 40. It's probably like 27 in January.
Let's see. January weather in Boston. Daily high temperatures
You got it
are
right here.
between 36 and 38.
So from my same source, December, average high is 42, average low 28. January, average high 37, average low 22.
Yeah, I'm seeing 23 for an average
February,
low.
average high 39, average low 24. So in January and February, our average high doesn't even hit your fucking low. And our average low is 18 degrees in freedom units less.
Yeah, yeah.
March, average low 31. Finally, April, average low 41. We have finally hit. Your worst months are our April.
Yeah.
I'll give you something. We get 82, 81 in July and August. They get 74, 73. So it does get hotter here too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're
Well,
not
it's because
used
they're
to
an
it.
island. They have, it's like being on the Cape.
74,
It's warmer in the
73.
winter and cooler in the summer.
Oh, it's a sea breeze. It's cold.
Yeah, it's the same thing as the Cape.
73, 74. It's going to be 79. That's 5 fucking degrees. 5.
Yeah.
You can't handle 5 fucking degrees. And then, do you know what the fucking Brits and fucking Scots and do you know what they have to say about the one thing that we're forgetting? Do you know what we're forgetting what we haven't talked about yet?
I don't know, the rain.
The humidity.
Oh,
You forgot about
God.
the humidity.
Yeah.
79, but it's the humidity. It's humid here.
It's the humidity that gets you.
It's
Everyone
the humidity
knows.
that gets you. 115 in fucking Arizona. Nah, that's cold. 79 and humid. That's hot. That
Yeah.
79 and humid in a brick building. Might as well be a 600-degree oven. You could cook pizzas on our floors.
Yeah, it's like people cooking eggs on the sidewalk in Arizona, but you can cook a pizza in an apartment in
Oh,
London.
it's brick. It's made of brick, and
Yeah.
it's got they're not disconnected. You know, like
Yeah.
there's so many units. There's so many units, and it just keeps so much heat in for your 40-degree. Maybe that's why it keeps so much heat in because it doesn't actually get fucking cold.
Yeah.
40 degrees is not fucking cold. Do you have your cold days? Yeah, obviously averages are averages. If
Right.
it's 28 one day, that means it's got to be fucking 52 the other. Like
Right.
average is average. So yeah, does it get cold? Sure does. But you're shitting me that you guys are defending that.
Yeah. I think the best part of it too is like obviously like being an American, when I saw the article, like the title of it, it said like England hitting a heat wave, 26 degrees Celsius. And I'm like,
Yeah,
wow, like
we're sitting
I
there,
wonder
we're
what
like, I
that
have no idea
is.
what that is.
Like, oh, I bet that's really hot. Like that sucks. We got a heat wave going on right now too. And then you do the conversion, you're like, wait, that's 79 degrees.
79 degrees. And they have the balls.
It's going to be 100 degrees here on Friday.
78 down the Cape.
On the mainland. Yeah.
78 down the Cape. The sea breeze will actually be cold. Everyone might want to wear their fucking parkas.
Cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter.
Plus the building isn't made of brick, so all the air, all the cold air is just gonna come right through. Fuck me. And then they had the balls to say the humidity too.
Of course they did.
And then some people were like, well, it's like it's such a big deal in Texas when it gets cold. It's like, yeah, and we make fun of them too.
Yeah.
Like England. So this is the thing. England has been unprepared for Boston since 1770 fucking like three. They couldn't handle snowballs. They killed a bunch of our people and they couldn't fucking handle that. And you can't handle an argument with fucking weather because
Yeah,
it sucks here. It really fucking sucks here. And we're not even Canadian.
I
Like
know.
Ian Mack could be listening. He's probably not. Ian Mack could be listening and being like, you think Boston's bad? Come to fucking Nova Scotia where the
Yeah.
ice doesn't melt until June. I'm making that up.
I mean, it's probably not far off.
And like, yeah, you're right. Your weather's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Texas is the funny one with the cold because the cold is so much easier to prepare for because literally all you have to do is just wrap the pipes, just insulate the pipes.
Well, and that's it. It's the
Like with
funniest
the
thing.
heat, you have to purchase air conditioning window units
Yeah,
or
and you have
get
to
central
install them,
air
and
or get them installed. Like there's stuff to it. Like with the cold, you literally just have to wrap your pipes in fucking like neoprene wrapping and you're good.
yeah, you
Or
can get space
styrofoam. You
heaters.
could use styrofoam too.
You could use fucking clothes, dude. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you could use all types of shit. But that's the thing. We make fun of Georgia too,
Yeah.
but at least like they know where they're at. They go, listen, if it snows, we'll just shut down because it'll melt tomorrow,
Yeah.
and we don't have the stuff.
Or the
But like, we're
funny
not
thing
gonna.
about, I think they were talking about, oh, we didn't know that all we had to do was just leave the hot water tap on, let it run overnight so our pipes wouldn't freeze. Dude, that's it. That's so fucking easy. It's so fucking easy. When it's going to be that cold, you just take the hot water in all your sinks and just open it a little bit so there's a nice little drip. You're all set. You're all good. You're good to go. It's not like, which we got to spend 15 grand to get central air installed in
Yeah,
our houses up here. I got to just turn the hot water on. Just let it run.
it's like
Wrap
drip.
you wrap your pipes. I don't know, dude. Like it's so fucking easy. It's so easy to not have your pipes burst.
Yeah, it's re- it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the houses are constructed a little differently, but like there are remedies here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost like, oh my god, it's gonna be cold. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
I got my galoshes from when the basement floods. It's like turn it on a little bit.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, my final thought is a shout out to the real heroes out there. To
Teachers,
all the teachers. Yeah, you nailed it. That's great. Now is the time of year where you're starting to see all the teachers post on social media about, oh, another year down. Oh, thank God that's over. Oh, survived another year. Oh man, oh, can't believe summer is finally here. Oh, thank God for summer. Oh, off in vacation mode. All of those posts that now is the time that you're going to see them all. And you sit there and you go, cool, man. Enjoy your 3 months of not working
you
because
work
your
half
job
the
is
year
so fucking hard. You literally work half the year. You work
half the year
180 days. You work 180 days a year
with time off.
with time off. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a consecutive 180 days. It's 180 days with weeks and days sprinkled in that are off. Like it's not hard. It's not that hard. I've been a teacher. I've been a teacher before. Yeah. Sometimes it sucks because the kids are annoying, but kids
Kids
are
are
just
always
annoying in
annoying.
general. Like that's your job. You get paid roughly the same amount as other people to do half of the year's work. Right. And like obviously some
Well,
school
hold on, I'll
districts are
do some quick
different.
math. 52 times 5 is 260. You work 80 days less
Yeah.
than people. And if you get paid time off or any time off, just call it equal, right?
Right.
Because like if you get 2 weeks vacation and someone else gets 2 weeks vacation, it's a wash.
Right.
80 days
80 days less. So
less.
what's 80 divided by 5? Because that would give you your work week.
16.
16. That's you work 16 weeks less.
So weird how that comes out to, oh, I don't know, 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So get ready because like I said, now's the time. It's going to be all over your social media, your Instagram, your Twitter. Oh, summer mode. Oh, here's vacation. Happy for vacation. Cool. Enjoy it. Don't complain to me when you're like, oh
Oh,
man,
September.
yeah.
September
Oh,
2nd. I can't believe summer's over.
yeah. Oh man, I gotta go back to work. You just had 3 months off.
Everyone.
You just had
Yeah.
3 months off. Shut the fuck up. Oh man, summer went by so fast. I can't believe I go back to work next week. Oh,
So weird.
I
It's
have to
almost
show
like
up to
summer.
school a day before the kids do.
It's almost
Yeah,
like
dude, it's
summer
a
goes
job.
by fast every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So weird.
It's your
So
job.
weird.
Do your job. You work 16 weeks less than any other professional, any other full-time professional.
80 divided
So
by 260. It's 30% less.
30% less. Yeah. We can do math.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I divided 80 by 260. That's 30, and that's 30%. Was that the right math? I
Sure.
think it was.
Yeah. So that's gonna do it for us here. At least for the first round. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to click subscribe up above, hit the thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you're an audio only guy as well. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is Sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. Website, sarcasmspeaks.com. Check out the show notes below. Click on all those links. You get some deals, great sponsors, great products. Support them, support us. And until next time, good night.